Periscope link means we are live. What's up, everybody? Sunday, live before lock, June 30th. Taking it into July tomorrow. And boy, do we have a day of pitching. Max Scherzer and Garrett Cole at the top. Blake Snell priced like he's Jake Arrieta. It should be a really fun day. I mean, Blake Snell cheaper than Jake Arrieta, just in case you were curious. Emac, how you doing today? Eric in the house.
I'm doing good. Last night was the last two nights been a little bit rough there on the old DK. I had a good afternoon slate yesterday, but lost the main slate. So very, very sad. And did not win on Yahoo. I'd been on a nice little run there. But what I did do, and I played some of the late slate, and I kind of hedged a little bit when I realized, because their main slate yesterday was from 4 o'clock on. And what I did was I went in and realized, God, I don't have any of some of the pitchers that were going later. So I built a couple teams in just their small contests, because they didn't have very many big ones, but they were 1, 2, or 3 entry contests, and they didn't fill. So I won a couple of those, which helped offset my $30 entry fee. So I turned like $5.60 into 15. So then I had a total of 35 in, and I got 15 back out, which was better than 30 and nothing out. So just a reminder, you can do little things like that. It's not always going to work, but I wasn't like rooting against my players because I just didn't have any like Angels, and I didn't have any Athletics and whatever. So I built some teams around that and just had some fun. It's a good time.
Awesome. I did not play at all yesterday. Took the full day off, so I'm diving in big time today.
And let's see, I just dropped in the chat the Spotlight Hitters and Stacks article that has a link to Spotlight Pitchers article written by Josh.
Boom.
And 2, it's got the Yahoo instructions and link in the third paragraph to tell you how to get that deposit bonus.
Also, boom.
$30. Yesterday's star pitcher was not Rick Porcello.
No, it was not. One last plug, live before lock. One big word is the promo code. You can get 50% off your first month with us if you're subscribing for Awesemo Plus. Only works on monthly packages. You can use it on packages with Fantasy Cruncher, but if you want to sign up for the first time, live before lock. One big word. All right, we need to start, I think, where everybody's discussion is today. And it's not with the pug that's at my door slamming on it like he wants to try to walk through it. The discussion is with one Blake Snell. Blake Snell is, you get the prices, $8,500 on FanDuel, $8K on DraftKings, $38 on Yahoo. The chalk across the board. How do you want to manage Blake Snell today? Because he is priced like the last 3 starts that he's made are the going rate for Blake Snell. What say you for a guy that is currently projected to be in half of every lineup?
I think we got to go. We got to go for the gusto here. I don't see any other way around it. Now, says the guy who rolled out a bunch of Verlander yesterday. Stuff happens, but at this price point, this is one of those ones where, like if you were doing fantasy auctions, it's called price enforcing. So it means like if you're doing, because we got football auctions coming up, if somebody's bidding on, I don't know, pick a running back, Le'Veon Bell, and they're only going $17 and you think he's worth 34, you might as well just put him up at 30, 31, 32, because someone will pay the 34.
Yep.
So here I want to price enforce. Now what that means is I'm playing them. It's a kind of a twisted term, but I'm playing them against everybody who's not. So it just means I'm pushing the chips in on this one. And I think the pricing it's just too good. It's a solid matchup. That kid yesterday had a perfect game through 5 or whatever it was, like didn't get any strikeouts till the 4th inning or whatever. But, Snell reigning AL Cy Young winner. Does that count for something? So the question then becomes, is he hurt? I don't think so. Is he tipping pitches, or has something changed in his mechanics that's mucking something up? That I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know that. No. And then finally, has he been unlucky? His home run rates are up some, but everything else is comparable to last year, and he won the Cy Young last year. So take a ride on the Snell elevator, as Lofty would say.
Yeah, I don't see what else you could possibly do. Alex has Snell projected for 23 DK points, Cole for 24. I said in premium Slack, if Blake Snell were 10,900, he would still be like my third favorite pitcher of the day. He's too cheap for what he can do. He's one of the few pitchers on the slate that can have a day like Scherzer and Cole. And to get that while also freeing up, $3,000 in salary is massive. It's massive. I hate that his price is like this because it makes the slate less fun.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes a lot of like the construction out of it, but I don't see what the alternative is. He just shouldn't be priced at 8K. Now, we might find out that he goes out there, walks 5 guys, gives up 6 hits, gets pulled in the first inning, and then takes a ride on the injured list. But we can't know that. It doesn't appear to be anything in his velocity, arm angle type stuff. Like nothing is jumping off the page of like, oh well, his fastball is 3 miles an hour slower than it was 4 weeks ago. Like clearly we figured it out. Sometimes you just have a bad stretch, and I just can't imagine not going to him. It's really that easy. He's priced like he's Jake Arrieta, but he's actually like a 95 percentile version of Garrett Cole. Craziness.
Yeah. It's absolutely wild. Since you took yesterday off, what do you think about the Baltimore Orioles? 13-0 yesterday against Cleveland.
That was yesterday?
Wait for it. That was yesterday. It was also 13-0 on Friday.
Yeah.
That's right. Gamers, Cleveland has not scored a single run in 2 games against Baltimore, who has allowed the second most runs in the league behind only the Mariners. And the Mariners and Baltimore are 60 ahead of the third most team, or the team with third most runs allowed.
I had a lot of Cleveland that first night, so that one stung. Didn't play yesterday, so I was able to not have a lot of Cleveland for that one as well. Got to change today, right? Can't do it again.
Well, let's see. In 3 of their last 5 games, someone has scored 13 runs. Coincidence? I think not.
For all the people that think that they shouldn't play Snell because his last 3 games were like not the best for him, does that mean you're going really heavy on the Orioles today? Because you should be able to do one without the other. If we're going to be looking into super small samples of things, then why don't we expect the Orioles to score 13 runs every day?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe, just maybe, you need to look at things more than 2 or 3 data points.
All right.
Hypothesis. I could be wrong. Spoiler alert. I'm not wrong.
That's fair. That's fair. So you mean, something along the lines of John Gray doing well yesterday doesn't always portend in the future that he'll do well when he's facing down a 7 implied run total at home?
I'm sad that I wasn't able to roster any John Gray yesterday. Because I know I would have had a ton of him.
Really?
I pretty much always have the good pitchers that are in cores. And he would qualify as good pitcher, I would say.
Yeah, Kershaw had a reasonably okay Coors Field outing. But, Gray wasn't, he didn't break the slate. He suppressed the Dodgers hitters, of which I had a boatload. That was the problem for me.
Our boss man just had an excellent tweet. I think I should read it out. So if you're not following at Awesemo DFS, first of all, what are you waiting for? Second of all, here's the tweet. Everyone complains about DFS being too tough to win at. Meanwhile, Aaron Sanchez is projected to be the second most popular pitcher today at 37%. I could not agree more there, boss. I could not agree more. Spoiler alert as well on this one. Not going to be playing much Aaron Sanchez today.
I got to get my nose out of the old Yahoo lineups here. He's 37%.
We just literally got a new update where he's 20.
Okay, he's 20%.
Yeah, that number as well, a little high for me.
All right, he has negative fantasy points in not 1, not 2, but 3 of his last 3 starts. That would be 100%. He also, in the 3 games prior to that, scored a grand total. This is DK scoring of 3.5, 3.5, and 1.95 points.
Is that bad?
That would be bad. So in his last 7 games, he has scored, I'm doing the math quickly in my head, 3 fantasy points over his last 7 starts.
Ooh, get it.
Now, does that mean he won't do well today? No, it doesn't. But
wait, I thought it did.
Well, there is that rule that you can't have 4 bad starts in a row or 4 good starts in a row. So this would be start number 4.
Cool.
So clearly, he's going to at least qualify, have enough innings to qualify for the win.
Yeah, I just I don't need to have 20% of him ever. I certainly didn't need 30% of him. I was hoping that number would just stay that high. On my first, I ran a preliminary crunch earlier today, and I got like 4%. So I was like, okay, that's the stance. If I'm gonna have a lot of Scherzer but not have Sanchez, that feels like the perfect way to get different.
That would be.
It's just I can't. I mean, I understand. There's not a lot to pay down for. It's not
what
as if
what are people spending on? Their Coors isn't on the slate because they've now decided they're not going to do the 3:00 games on DK. But where are you going with that extra funding? I mean, is it Sanchez Scherzer? Is that the pairing people are going for?
It has to be. Well, Sanchez Scherzer or Cole Scherzer. I can't imagine too many people are doing the Snell Sanchez combo there. Not that like I'm saying that that's a bad combination or anything, but you're already saving more than enough money with Snell. I don't know. It's got to be it, but I don't know what the bats are that you need all that extra money for. I say that as someone who's not getting it, so that's why I don't have it. I don't understand what I would be paying up for to do that.
All right, let me refresh this. I want to dig into this because I want to talk about Keller too, because he's someone that I'm intrigued by.
Yeah, hit me with the Keller takes as well.
He doesn't give up a lot of power, which is helpful. And every time I say that, he gives up a home run. Well, congrats. He's given up like 14 in his career. Okay, that's not very many. He's got what? Yeah, I'm going off ballpark. What, 215 innings in his career? Come on.
That sounds
all
right.
Right. So Sanchez is facing a lineup today that has a projected 22% strikeout rate.
Yes.
Sanchez himself has an 18% strikeout rate. The thing that kills Sanchez is he has a 12% combined walk rate against his last 860 batters faced. That's not good. He doesn't give up a ton of power because he's more of a ground ball pitcher. He gives up about 50% to both lefties and righties from ground ball, but he just constantly puts the balls in play, and it never ends if you're looking to him. So what do we have here? We've got a team that has pretty good contact at the top. You got Merrifield, Lopez, and Gordon, who all strike out between 17 and 19%. Those guys, well, they don't walk a ton. They don't strike out. So the ball's going to be in play. And then you're coming back with Dozier, who's off the injured list and back in the middle of the lineup. You've got Soler. So they should be coming up a couple times with somebody on base. Things can go incredibly sideways. And then, oh, wait for it. Luke Duda's just lurking back there. And yes, he's been dealing with a back injury himself. But if he connects, the ball's going to fly. It scares me too much. I can't look at Sanchez. Now, let's look at the other side. Let's talk about Keller. Hey, okay. Here's someone who also doesn't strike anybody out. Literally doesn't strike anybody out. 16.5% over his last 1,000 batters. I'm not going to call that a trend. I'm going to call that the freaking baseline.
Yeah, that's just a fact.
Yeah, and a 10% walk rate. Not good either. But the power. Do you want to guess at what his isolated power is if you aren't looking?
Call it 136.
It is 102 to lefties or righties and 0.098 to lefties.
Wow. So, okay, so I thought I was going low.
So what do we say? Doesn't give up power. Literally, he doesn't. So I've got his season stats. It's his career stats. 240 innings now. He's given up 13 total home runs. That's like,
nothing.
That's a Marco Gonzalez July.
Yeah. That's a Dylan Bundy start.
Yes. Now, to be fair, Gonzalez, that's a bad example because he is pitching today, and Marco Gonzalez doesn't give up that many home runs. You see, Kikuchi does, though. So there you go. You're Mariner lefty. But that's where I'm getting to Keller, somewhat discounted. So on Yahoo, he's 32. So if you go Yahoo with Keller and Snell, you can get the Dodger bats that you want. Now you're hoping that Keller gets 14 to 17 points. And then you're hoping that your Dodger hitters going against Chichi Gonzalez get you to the promised land, because Chichi Gonzalez, and I keep wanting to call him Chichi Rodriguez, but that's
same.
And I said that, and Jake had no idea who Chichi Rodriguez
was. That doesn't make me surprised at all.
No, but I sent, or it was Adam. Never mind, it wasn't Jake. It was Adam, which is even worse because Adam's a few years older than Jake. He had no idea. But anyway, Chichi Rodriguez with the little.
I'm doing it too. I didn't see you on the screen, but I don't know if you were doing it because
we were doing it at the exact same time. Okay. So here's the funny thing: I was showing Adam, and Adam's like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious." And I said, no one ever got pissed at him when he did it. I said, in today's social media, it would just be, he'd be considered a pariah. Yeah. But I said, one, he made fun of himself constantly.
Yeah.
And then two, he kind of did it. He was such a nice and affable guy that nobody got up in his dish about it.
Right.
Which would never happen today.
No, I guess it all depends sort of on who you are as a person before that to get that sort of gimmick. Like if I was the type of person that would do the Chichi Rodriguez golf club stuff, people would tell me that I was not a great person for it. I feel like if you did it, they'd be like, oh, that's EMAC. I love when he does that. Sometimes it's just sort of the person that you are coming into it.
That, I guess, is very true. Very true. But
you would get a lot more leeway than I would. Let's just say that.
I very well may.
So maybe he's just a really nice guy.
But anyway, so but on that back on this one, so the other one you can get as a unique combination is Keller and Robbie Ray. So looking at Keller, here's what I'm hoping for. And you go look at his game log. So he's 14 against Cleveland. Okay, that 14 wouldn't be great, but he only made it 3 innings.
Yeah.
Seattle knocked him around. He actually had a negative. But before that, Minnesota, he got 24 points against Minnesota. Did not allow a run. He only allowed 2 to Chicago. He went 8 innings there. He went 7 innings in Texas against the Rangers and only gave up 3 runs. So I'm hoping he gets, if he could get me 20 DK points, his level of popularity is just not even close to what anybody else is on Yahoo. So that for me is a Yahoo play. From that standpoint, we'll see what happens. I'm going to start crunching DK here in a moment. But
quick question: if we're talking about owning a player now, do we change like the NBA? Are we their governors?
That's just weird in my opinion. Now I've said it on multiple shows that I always hate saying I own a player. Like even it's weird. So I like to say popularity or I roster them or whatever. But when you're talking quickly and those are the words you're used to saying, it's kind of there. But it just seemed it seems like that one went a little too far. And I'm someone that I don't really like to say the Atlanta's nicknames and Cleveland and all of that just because it or Washington football team. Because those I think are kind of offensive. But at a certain point, your baseline word is, are we going to decide boat is a bad word because boats were used to haul things around that were illegal?
Right.
We can't say boats anymore.
I don't know. Like everybody, it's the same thing as DLI. Like it's going to be whatever people say. To me, these terms are, and it's not. We don't even need to get into it. It's not important.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
what about?
I'm the governor.
The best, one of my favorite, and then obviously we'll want to get back to baseball. But what was Van Halen? Great album, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, which is what that actually stood for. And now that word means a bunch of different things.
Yeah, it certainly did. You mean Van Hagar?
They both had their moments.
They did.
Van Halen 1, I like to call that greatest hits. Van Halen 1 through 4 was just amazing. Fantastic. But Hagar had some moments, and Hagar was good on his own.
Jake's telling us to stick to sports.
Jake, you're not on the show.
No.
You know what you can't do when you're not on the show? Tell the people on the show what they should do.
Yeah.
With any success.
So I just ran a crunch. And I have some unique exposure in that pretty much only playing 3 pitchers.
Oh, boy.
That's not totally true, but it's a lot true. lot of Max, a lot of Cole, a lot of Snell. Surprise, surprise. There's one guy I want to talk to you about that no one's really talking about today. Are you playing on FanDuel?
I am not.
Okay, you're going to know a little bit less about this then than everybody else. Have you taken a look at Lewis Thorpe by any chance?
I do know he's 5,500 on FanDuel.
He is 5,500 on FanDuel. I have 16% of him right now.
I think that yes, I think so. I'm trying to remember. I read about him last night because I was trying to decide if I was going to write him up as someone to target against, and I ultimately decided not to. He has okay strikeout stuff. He's coming in super cheap on FanDuel, which clearly put him into play. It's not. I mean, let me see what's the lineup he's facing. So everybody's in the lineup essentially, but Garcia, Moncada, Abreu, McCann, John Jay, Elo Jimenez. Those guys are not they're not for you coming up and starting against a team. These guys are all savvy enough hitters, and we give the White Sox a lot of grief. But how many truly easy outs are there in that? And I don't really see that many. Because even John Jay, lefty, will battle the hell out of Thorpe. So the one concern becomes is how many pitches will Thorpe end up going?
Yeah, not a guy that goes typically deep into the games. Adam Burse asking in chat, is Lewis Thorpe stretched out? Yeah, he started every single game this season. The problem is he does not exactly go deep into those games, averaging about 5 innings per start. I have him in for 4.6, and even at that point, he's got a 30% K rate in AAA. If you have a 30% K rate and you can throw 4 innings at the flat minimum, I'm just going to have some interest. Especially against a White Sox team that's not great. They do strike out more than average. That's enough for me. I wish that he was cheaper on DraftKings. I would have loved to get to a little bit more, but unfortunately, he is 8,400 on DraftKings, which is not a fun price tag. Still have a little bit, but as a lot. Anybody else standing out to you? You mentioned Keller. We touched on Aaron Sanchez. Do you have a preference in the Scherzer-Cole duo?
I'm gonna have to go with Scherzer, and here's why. You got to realize that this is a double revenge game, because you've got Jordan Zimmerman, 2 ends, used to be a National. You've got Scherzer, used to be a Detroit Tiger, and these guys combined have 1% of all of the no hitters in Major League history. You know what that means? Not a bleeping thing.
Well, I mean, they are also fantastic.
Well, it was fun to say. So, Detroit bullpen, awful, though not as bad as the Washington bullpen. Zimmerman is allowing a 354 WOBA and a 232 ISO to the last 374 lefties he's faced. He does a little bit better against righties, which no surprise, but a 327 WOBA, 200 ISO against the last 350s. Nats are solid up and down the line. It's going to be about 80 degrees here. I'm debating, does Matt Adams be a home run call for me today? Yeah, that's hard because we've got Houston against a lefty. But that's how highly I think of the Nationals.
My home run model looks really weird right now. Why has it got all these blank spaces in it? Marlins and Twins. Did I paste somebody's lineup in the wrong spot? Marlins is right.
While you're chasing that down, other quick thoughts from me.
I did. Ugh. I put the Marlins in the Twins spot. So all my crunches are useless.
No bueno.
No.
So looking at the pictures here, so I'm still okay. I'm okay with Keller at 7,500 on DK because and I'm okay with Thorpe. Richards makes me a little bit nervous just because he's gone back and forth, and Philly has been between good starts and bad starts, and Philly's been adequate. Arrieta, I'm not, I'll end up with some of him on my team. But when we start talking about Shane Bieber, I'd rather get to Cole. I'd rather get to Scherzer. And then above all of them is Blake Snell. So how you're getting to 3 pitchers, I understand. Mine will probably be about 6 or 7, but it'll be heavily concentrated in Snell, Cole, and Scherzer.
I have a feeling I'm about to get some really ridiculous information from one Ship My Money.
Oh boy.
Oh, and I almost knocked my light over.
This is what happens when you have beer before noon.
That's true. I reached it when I always get my foot stuck on this cable. Anyway, so I messaged Adam earlier and said, "Can this Aaron Sanchez ownership hold?" And he was like, "I haven't looked." And he said, "Oh wow, 4,400. I'm sure I'll have a lot." And he said, "Were you thinking 20 was too high or too low?" I was like, "Okay, I know where this is going." So my assumption is that I would love to have 20% Aaron Sanchez if no one has him, but if he's at 20, I don't want to have him. And now I'm just waiting to see what Adam has to say about what he has, because I have a sneaky suspicion he's going to tell me a number that's like, I don't know, our ages combined at the rate that he's been showing me ownership over the past couple weeks. So there's that. Now I've got my updated Twins lineup, since surprise, surprise, the Twins aren't the Marlins. I was wondering why some of these guys took like really massive changes in projections when I refreshed. Turns out because I was saying a different team was a different team. It's going to be like when Tampa moves the Expos. I'll get confused, put teams in the wrong spot.
That's just a mess, by the way.
Well, I got Adam's update on one Aaron Sanchez. I don't mind sharing this out loud because he'll never hear it. 43%.
Adam.
Look, it's not for me. I know why it's happening for him.
Give people a hint on why that's actually happening.
Oh yeah.
Talk about the leverage a little bit, since we don't have a strategy show. But this is a perfectly good example, because with it, okay, you see something that you don't agree with. Now, how do you utilize that in your favor?
Right.
And if you think Adam is thinking, I want to go higher, you're thinking, and I'm thinking, I want to go lower. But we don't know who's right or wrong, but it's how you approach it. So what is making Adam go higher?
Adam prioritizes hitting and prioritizes high-end pitching less than I do. I kind of feel the opposite way, at least on a bigger slate. There's more than one way to skin a cat. It just sort of means that the days that I do well, we're probably not going to be on the same stuff. It's all about a prioritization. It's all about your levels of how much do you want hitting in comparison to pitching. If you run baseline projections into an optimizer, pitching will be prioritized because those guys have bigger numbers to start. I know that sounds like a dumbed down version of what it is, but that's really just what it is. You will get to more of the top projected pitching arms than you will hitters. A lot of people like to adjust their hitting projections by some sort of multiple. This will flatten out the exposure to your pitching and open up more guys in the paydown department. I don't do that as much. Adam probably does that a lot more than I do. I know Jake does that a lot. So you're coming at it from two separate angles, but that's how you end up in that sort of spot.
And that's called game theory.
A little bit, yeah.
And that's how you have to get next level these days on DFS, because it's very, very hard anymore to just have the best projections get you there.
You know what time it is?
Oh, is it dong pick time?
It is dong pick time, which isn't really like a great time of the day for me, if I'm being honest. It's not going well right now. You're clobbering. Well, you and Jake are clobbering everybody. I am tumbling. I just cannot get a pick. It's just bad. It's just so bad. You and Jake have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 correct picks since my last correct pick, which is just as bad as it is for Chris. So Chris and I are bringing up the rear. 16 right now for EMAC, 15 for Jake, 12 for Chris, 11 for me, unfortunately. I need to start making up some picks. I need to catch up. You've made 6 more picks than I have, but you're at 27% correct. I'm at 19. So
Yeah, who has the best percentage correct?
you have the best everything across the board.
I heard Chris complaining about that the other day, and then he's like, "Oh, but Emac has made more picks and has the best percentage."
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I hadn't realized that.
Yeah, I'm here just saying it's going really well for Emac here. It's going really poorly for me. So the floor is yours. Who would you like to take as your home run pick?
Bregman.
Yeah, that's who I took on Friday, so this one's gonna sting extra bad today when he hits one. Can't wait. Can't wait. Where's
If you go Springer, that's who I had last night. So. And then we can both lament when Jose Altuve has 2 home runs.
Bregman is 20th in the model right now.
Okay, not bad.
I am going to feel very comfortable with this pick, although I wish that he was hitting higher in the order, but unfortunately I can't go anywhere else. Give me Bobby Bradley.
Really?
Yeah. Where I'm at.
Interesting.
Bobby Bradley.
All right.
I need to do something different. Got to get off the schneid.
No, this is good. And I was going back and looking at some of our picks because it's interesting what we've chosen to do. And sometimes we have I've got Matt Adams and Vogelbach and guys like that in there. It's not like we take the stars.
No. Well, Chris does.
Well, okay. I said we excluding Chris, of course.
Chris, I hope you're listening to this.
I'll take Bellinger.
Yeah.
Or not Bellinger. Yelich. He takes Yelich. I'll take Yelich.
Can I get Stanton in Coors?
Yeah. If you're not going to take him, then I will. Hey, can we use Coors on this slate?
Yeah.
He's the master of changing the rules.
Emac is on Suarez. Yeah, I don't know why I said Emac. Jake is on Suarez.
Okay. Oh, well, I was going to say, I've just clicked on his name. He's 10 on Yahoo. Fits in nicely at third base there. And Giggity. Is that what we say? Giggity?
I don't think it is.
He is in an excellent spot. Jake and I talked about him yesterday. 34 home runs, 100 and whatever RBI, 79 runs last year, 283 batting average. That talent didn't go away. So I like him.
Adam Burse, nailing it. Josh taking contrarian dongs is why he's behind. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. It's way more fun to take something weird and be right. That's why Sean V is so popular in YouTube chat. You say ridiculous stuff, and it happens. You get to pat yourself on the back for saying ridiculous stuff. I try not to do that in my play, but I will do it in my home run picks.
How are you feeling about the Dodgers here? And here's the other. I know they're not on our slate, but
yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that I've looked at them once.
Okay, so here's the fun part on Yahoo. Peterson, Beatty, and Rios are all first basemen.
Amazing.
How do we have 3? Come on, just put Peterson back in the outfield.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes. How do we end up here? How do we end up on some stuff like this? Oh God. What's the real answer? How do we adjust this so positions don't matter as much? Is there a way?
Multi-position eligibility is really it.
The answer, I guess, is play on DraftKings.
Yeah. Well, and for the guys that have it though.
Sure.
And I think that's the good thing that DraftKings does. And I don't mind that fantasy draft has basically positionless sports with 3 infielders, 3 outfielders, 2 utility. I don't mind that FanDuel has catcher, first base, and a utility. Or the catcher, first base combined as well as a utility. It helps out a little bit, especially with the American League teams. But the fact that we have a National League team that has 3 people at first base is it's beyond me.
It's incredible. It's just so annoying. It's so annoying. Today is Sunday, which is church day. Jesus Aguilar says it all. So Dong confirm. That's Marcos's pick.
Okay.
I like the thought process.
That is something to think about there.
I mean, that's better than thinking somebody's going to go yard because it's their bobblehead day. I think.
Bobbleheads are powerful.
Damn, Josh, you looking salty, my brother. Not at all. It's a great day. It's a lovely Sunday. I've had a great weekend.
I got to hear Josh talk about how he was going to jump out of his office window into the pool as soon as the show was over.
I can't wait. Seriously, can't wait. Grilling up some chicken after this. Gonna make some frozen screwdrivers. I might go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time. That's a great day. It's the weekend, man. It's the summer. No saltiness here whatsoever. I'm just naturally salty in my general communications. But it doesn't mean that I'm truly salty. Just my brain fires before any thoughts get to my mouth. So sometimes it just comes off as salty. Rarely salty for real.
Curtis Granderson is in my life today. Yikes.
Kyle Zybarth in YouTube chat, as you said that, said Granderson going yard.
There we go. Doubling down. Let's roll.
Fill it up again. Fill it up again. Great quote, James. Great quote.
All right. Now I got my Scherzer line up. And then now I'm going to the patented EMAC trick of taking my last couple lineups and just putting guys in the late game. Because
where are you looking from a hitting perspective? We've talked a little bit about pitching, but we really haven't touched on stacks yet.
We will be shortly as I start to get over to my stacks. 1 second here. Sorry, I know this is riveting. Granderson starts over. I need a $7 first or $7 outfielder that's not start. There we go. Melky Cabrera.
There you go. I was gonna say, like, let me look, but now I know what you're doing.
Okay. Got that done. Closing those windows. We're gonna do some. Now we got everything I need to do the Yahoo, or probably the DraftKings. So hang tight, Yahoo. I'll be back to you after lock. It'll be fun. We have 25 minutes left. Just plenty of time to get going. We do have a free NASCAR content. We've moved Phil's article in front of the paywall. Phil is phenomenal with what he does. He holds court in chat. So we have NASCAR at 3, but we've got baseball now. So my key stacks are on the Spotlight Hitters and Stacks article, in addition to a couple now. So let me copy the right link in and we'll do this. So the guys I really like that I think are potentially going overlooked, and I have not refreshed the little stack tool here. I am curious to see where people are coming in on Houston. Houston is the 5th most popular.
Yes.
I like that. I like that a lot. That is DK. Houston on FanDuel is
not
6th.
Popular.
Yep. And Houston on Yahoo is 5th. So they're not there. They're not coming in. And this makes it exciting for me. Because I think they are in an excellent spot. They get their 3rd straight lefty from the Mariners. We know that they are phenomenal as a team against lefties. They won against Tommy Malone Friday. We went against UC Kikuchi on yesterday, and it's Marco Gonzalez today. And he is backed up by one of the worst bullpens in the league. And this is awesome. So Springer, Altuve, and Bregman just keep going to them. Tyler White, kind of a lost season thus far.
Yeah.
But perhaps because he was a position player, or this will be a good one. He was first baseman and position player, and he actually pitched. Last time I remember someone of note doing that, their name was Chris Davis, and they went on to lead the league in home runs. So, transitive properties here. We have the next Chris Davis before he became Chris Crap Davis. But I love those guys. The Nationals.
Okay.
Get on them a little bit, but I like the Nationals going against Jordan Zimmerman there.
They are my number 3 stack, by the way.
Yeah, yesterday we had Soto versus Soto. Today we have the opportunity for Zimmerman versus Zimmerman. Now it'll take a pinch hit appearance, but that would have been something. I mean, this is the in-depth, hard-hitting analysis that you guys come to Osmo for. Sean V, I'm looking for interns to help me out with narratives. So.
Yeah, that's an unpaid job, just FYI. I don't want anybody lining up for this one. If we're going to have a paid intern, we're going to need a better resume.
But in any event, those are kind of the 2 teams I really, really like. So I'm going to get our projections loaded in here into Fantasy Cruncher and then start having some fun. That's the ownership page. Let's see. Teams I think that it's a little crazy.
Yeah, you checking out top stacks right now?
I'm looking at top stacks. So Milwaukee, I think, is all right. So we like Milwaukee against lefties, but and I'm going off the top of my head, so I'm calling up the information right now. Brault is another guy. He's like a left-handed version of Kellerman. If I remember correctly, he doesn't give up a ton of power. He gives up, that's lefties, but 100 ISO to lefties. His last nearly 500 righties, just 160. So that's not a ton. I mean, this isn't the easiest of environments here, but Kane, Braun, Hura, Aguiar all coming in from the right side there. It still feels like that might be something that is a bit of a trap. I don't hate it, but as we start to look, you start to say, you know what? What if he only gives up 3 runs and then the bullpen gives up 2 runs? That's not going to get it done for us.
No, it's not.
And that would still be a good game for Milwaukee, but that's not going to get it done for us. I think Chicago is interesting. They're not really getting lost in the shuffle. On DK, they're one of the 5 most popular teams, along with Cincinnati, and those are both, they're facing each other. We have Anthony Desclafani, who we love to target against with lefties because he is
not good against them.
Yeah, so against lefties, this is his last 400. Guess his WOBA allowed.
410.
401. Guess his isolated power.
See, my dyslexia got me there. I was going to say 401.
There you go.
Isolated power. Let's go with...
Go higher than what you're thinking right now. Higher still.
Is it 207?
288.
Oh, my God.
He is almost in the untouched 400, 300 club, and that's over this last 400 batters.
That's so bad. Yes. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Today on all my teams.
I mean, that guy, he should just really be a reliever.
Yep.
That's really all there is, right? He just shouldn't be in that role.
No.
That is putrid. I mean, that is brutally bad. So, oh my God. What was it? 288? Is that what it was?
Yeah. That's like having Babe Ruth. It's turning every hitter into Babe Ruth.
Oh my God. It's so bad. And yet he's probably going to get like 10% ownership or something stupid.
Yeah.
All right. 31 lineups. I'm just about done getting my lineups in, so we could really have a good chat and take some questions in like, I don't know, a couple seconds.
All right. I'm downloading my file. I'm going to start doing my crunches. So we're in a good spot here. We're in a good spot.
I have just uploaded all my lineup. So perfect time for everybody to hit the like button since we've got like 700 and change in here. Very helpful. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you guys can know when we go live. It's the only thing we've got going today. You will have the Early Bird podcast later tonight. And then tomorrow morning will be Adam and Jake breaking down the Monday slate.
It's and we're not that far away from the All-Star break. So the schedule tomorrow's game, deep breath. There's a 1:00 game tomorrow, and then there's 5 games on the main slate at 7. Tuesday, fully robust slate, all going off at 7. Wednesday, there's a 2:00 game, a 6:00 game, and then 13 main slate games. That is July 3rd. On July 4th, there's an 11:05 game in Washington because they always do that one super early so they can get everybody into the city and then back out before the parades and all that other stuff starts down there. You've got 1 o'clock, 2 2s, 3 3s, a 5, and then 4 7:00 games. So not much of a quote main slate because everybody's going to be out doing fireworks and stuff on Thursday. Then Friday, back to a full slate. And then wait for it.
Nothing.
Saturday, Sunday, we got it. And then Monday, Boom, All-Star break.
Yes.
So that will be somewhat interesting. The Saturday slate's a little wonky as well. There are 7 main games going off at 7:15. There are 6 4:00 games, a 3:00 game, and a 2:00 game. So just putting that out there that you may see some of the content bounce around a little bit as we head into the All-Star break. But wait, Art, we've got some football stuff up already. Nolan has been doing some team capsules. I've been working on something for what is it called, best ball drafts and such. So that stuff will be a perfect time to start looking at that as training camp opens right shortly thereafter, after the NFL All-Star break.
Speaking of 4th of July, we'll be doing a strategy show in the morning, and then that's it. Everybody's going to go off and enjoy the rest of their 4th. So enjoy that holiday, but we will have a show in the morning, but that will be it. There won't be any live before locks or anything like that. It's going to be a day to spend some time out and about.
Yeah, there's just 4 games late. We've got someone will be in Slack. I'm sure I will be in Slack because I have to work the next day, so I'm not going out. But
I'm going out, and it's going to be a rough one. So the 4th of July will be the 10-year anniversary of meeting my wife.
Really?
Yeah. So we're gonna go out and recreate it.
Oh boy, I've heard the original meeting story from you.
We had a few.
Not that it was bad, but you said, "I can't believe I didn't offend this woman."
Yeah. I mean, I'm a lot to take in for sure, but yeah, that will be the official. We met 10 years ago on the 4th of July, so we're gonna go out and redo it. Next year's 4th of July is gonna be crazy. Saturday, 4th of July, gonna be a hell of a weekend.
Oh, that will be.
But yeah, we figured got to celebrate a little bit. 10 years. A long time.
That is. We just hit 9 on Friday.
Nice. A long time, man. I think back to it. I thought I was like an adult at that point in time. Boy, was I wrong. All right, if you guys want to drop in any questions or anything, let's get them in now. We have a ton of time. Josh, how do you feel about Iglesias? I mean, I don't feel like he's good, but he's a really solid cash option.
Yeah, he's batting. Was he batting 5th today?
Yeah.
I've got a fair chunk. Particularly was getting him on Yahoo because just he's cheap and batting 5th. So
yeah, I like him in cash games. Toasty Brew says, I got dumped 10 years ago on the 4th of July. Best night of bowling ever. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information. Darius, I did not, but I won't repeat your question either. Oh man!
All right, who are you getting for your stacks? Let's start off there as questions are starting to come in.
Sure. Well, I also want to caveat everything with my pitching exposures. I have 4 guys in double digits: 60% Scherzer, 30% Cole. Let's just say 50% Snell because rounding's easier. Although it would have been easier to just say 49% and never explain it. And then 10% Arrieta, just kind of feels random-ish. Only 5% Aaron Sanchez. So if we're talking about the teams that I have owned the most, there are 3. Indians, Cubs. Neither one of those should be terribly surprising. They are also the 2 most owned teams on DraftKings. The Reds are my 3rd most owned team right now. I have basically no Twins. Feels like a mistake.
Well, the Twins are going against Lucas Giolito.
Sure. I'm just really surprised that they're a flat 0. They don't kind of grade out like that. Makes me feel like I pasted the wrong team in again.
I'm running my 4-4s. It's chugging along here. I will be having a tremendous amount of Cleveland, Chicago, Milwaukee, and then I'm probably going to have to tweak it because I'm not seeing Washington coming up, and I want to go there. Pitching, I'm getting a boatload of Snell, Scherzer, which is no surprise. Garrett Cole is cruising in, and then I'm going to end up with 20% Sanchez, I bet.
Okay.
I'm changing that to 10. I don't want more than 10.
Yeah, I have 5, and I am very happy to be at that number. Corey Randall said, Josh, would you try one line stacking the O's? I have more than one. I have...
Why am I blanking? Who are they playing?
The Orioles? The Indians. Right? Biebs.
But it's Bieber. Oh.
Yeah. I have 5% aggregate on the Orioles right now, but that's just a function of I have to pay down a lot at hitting because I have 60% Max Scherzer. I have one of Scherzer or Cole in basically every lineup, by all accounts.
Where's Houston? I'm getting Houston massively as my number one. Houston, Chicago, Cincy are my big three.
I have half the field of the Astros right now.
Okay.
I have less than 2% Astros on FanDuel. They are, however, my 5th ranked stack.
Yeah.
The one team that I don't have, I wish I had more Pirates. I feel like I need to make an adjustment for that.
Yeah. Now, see, so this is the third of my lineups. Now I'm going to run some 5-2s. I've gone away from 5-3s. So I want 5-2s, and then I'm going to run some 5-0s. And then I have been reserving a quarter of my lineups just to make sure I get the teams I want.
That makes sense.
And then what I do is I hone in. Pardon me. God, it's not hone in, and I always say that. Home in on picking my 3 teams and setting each of them at 35%, and then however many lineups I want. And I usually do them as 4 O's or 5 O's, and then try to put in the pitchers I want around them just to concentrate on my thoughts. So
that makes sense. We just got another ownership update if you're interested. I wasn't planning on throwing that update in there, but we have plenty of time, so I see no reason not to. But it just came out a minute ago. Blake Snell at 57% now. Aaron Sanchez tumbling to just 18. If that matters. My home run pick is tied for the most ownership on FanDuel.
What's his price there?
Something low.
What was his name? Bobby. I'm blanking.
Bobby Bradley. He is 2,200 on FanDuel.
All I could think of is Bobby Brown. My Prerogative. God, what a great song. What a great album, actually.
Yeah.
Don't be cruel. Don't be. You guys were missing out. Then when I went to college, that was literally no matter what kind of music you liked. If you came from the part of the state that was country, if you came from the part of the state that was urban, wherever you were, everybody freaking had. I was into metal bands and stuff, or not metal, Def Leppard and Metallica and stuff like that. And I had Bobby Brown. We laughed, like everybody had freaking Bobby Brown CD. It was such an awesome that CD was just like 8 great songs on it, and just you could put it on and just play the whole thing, and nobody got mad when that one was on.
No, and they probably should have.
We got to listen to country.
Considering who he is or who he became, or probably was at that time, which was not a great guy. But no one cared. Music was fantastic. He was part of at least at the time, he was part of the group where talent outweighed personal decisions.
Yeah.
He was good enough to offset the fact that he didn't make a lot of great moves in his life from time to time. Look, there's a cutoff. You got to be good enough at your craft to be able to offset bad stuff. We see it happen all the time. He was for a short time. Now nobody cares. Nobody cares about Bobby Brown, that is. To my knowledge, at least.
There are other Bobby Browns that have taken his place.
There are. I also don't care about her television show as well, but best of luck to her. Wish her nothing but the best. Show doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I don't think it's meant for me either. I thought it was meant for me at the start. Do you watch it?
No, I only know the name. I don't even know what she looks like, truthfully.
A child. So.
Well, I know what the other Bobby Brown from Cherry Pie Video looks like.
Oh, okay. Now I see where you're going. Now I see where you're going with this. Oh, man. All right, lineups are back in now that we have the ownership update. Not like anything's changing big time for me, but all of the most updated information is going to be better for you than not updating. Don't be cruel, Josh. How am I being... Oh, I get it.
That was good. That was good.
I didn't catch that one at first. I deserve it. Oh, more than one don't be cruel joke. There we go. I only saw the second one. It just felt like somebody heard me say something on the delay. The Twins pitcher has gotten rocked in AAA, and this is his first MLB start. Over 5 ERA in AAA. Okay, so Jay, I saw you mention this earlier. I addressed this in our premium Slack, but if you're paying attention to AAA ERA, you should really just stop looking at that as a stat. It is probably the most meaningless thing that you can look at. On DraftKings, where he's 8,400, I believe, it's fine. You don't need many excuses to ignore him. Where he's the minimum on FanDuel, it's more appealing. You're paying for a strikeout rate close to 30% at a minimum salary. Remember, you're not trying to roster these guys because you want to have them for the next 6 years of their career. You want to have them because they're a certain price on a certain day against a certain team. And he has shown that he has the ability to get strikeouts, which are the most valuable thing that you can possibly do in a DFS matchup. That's why you would want to play Lewis Thorpe. His ERA in AAA is worth 0% to how you should feel about him today. He's a 4 FIP, if that matters to anybody.
Is it bad that I'm going 70% like Snell?
No.
And I'm asking you because you are the master of going super heavy on pitching.
I mean, I'm heavier on Scherzer, but
I got Scherzer at 40.
If I ran this and I got to 100% Blake Snell, I wouldn't have batted an eye at it. Okay. It's just it's a really weird spot. If one of Scherzer or Cole weren't on this slate, I would probably have an overwhelming amount of Snell. But no, he just shouldn't be 8K. Like, he's $2,000. He's priced $2,000 wrong, basically. At the minimum.
Do anything to get more Pittsburgh as you were hoping to?
I tried. I couldn't do it. I feel like I'm going to regret it. I would have to recrunch to get to them a little bit more. They actually grade out as my 7th best stack, and I don't have them at all because of their price tags. I have them a lot on FanDuel, but not on DraftKings. But I think I'm making a mistake there, and for the most part, laziness is just stopping me from recrunching. But I think since they're unowned, I think that they would be a really good stack to prioritize to try to get to like 5% of or something. I've got 6 or 7 teams that are ranked lower than them that I have more than them, and I'm not really comfortable with that. I'm happy to have less of the Twins because I think they're going a little overowned, but based on where I have the Pirates ranked compared to where they rank in ownership, they're like, it's a 10 spot gap in ranking, and that's the biggest gap I have positively or negatively anywhere. And I don't really like when I leave that out, but I'm finding it really difficult to do it without going back to recrunch because they just don't have a ton of power upside today. Even though they are playing in Milwaukee, outside of Josh Bell and I guess Corey Dickerson, the lineup is not great for the long ball. Kevin Newman leading off, no power whatsoever. Lots of no power in the Diaz, Frazier pitcher, the trio at the bottom. So I feel kind of bad for it. I hope it doesn't come back to bite me, but it'll make for a fun soundbite if it does.
Did you get any Texas against Snell?
Not really. Basically just with the field, a percentage point. Did you get any Giolito?
No.
Same.
God, I hate Jeff Mathis.
I don't think anybody likes him.
He gets in the way.
He does.
And then he had to get a home run when we weren't playing him the other day. What a jerk. Is it a 105 or a 107 start here?
5, I believe. Well, for the first one, 5.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sean V. Are you serious with this? Kevin Newman, no power. LOL. He's homered multiple times lately. He has a career 115 ISO in the majors.
Good times.
I don't know what to do with this information. AAA this season, 0.067 ISO. AAA last year, 0.105. AAA the year before that, 0.090. People shouldn't listen to you. Now I am salty. People shouldn't listen to you. They need to understand what they're getting when they do that, which is garbage advice. Yes, garbage. It's abysmal advice. It's atrocious advice. Insert whatever fun, fancy word you want to use to describe it. It's bad. He has no power. Oh my God. Just please, guys. if you're doing anything, I'm willing to pay for the subscriptions at this point, just for you guys to come into Osmo and not listen to him.
Oh, there we are. There we are.
I'll bet whatever you want on the amount of home runs he hits for the rest of the season. Any amount of money. Let's set the line. I'll do
What
it.
does he have right now?
More than he's ever had in his entire career, I'm sure. On the season, he has 5, which is more than he's ever had in any full season of baseball ever.
Basically, we're talking about Ozzie Smith here.
More or less. He's a guy that does not hit for power. He projects to have 30 game power. He currently has 20 game power in his scouting rankings. His raw power is a 40. So even just based on... This is how far this guy hits balls in batting practice. It's below average. So there's that.
Do you know how many years Jeff Mathis has been in the league?
God, it feels like forever. I don't know, 12?
14. This is year 15. Career 196 average, 50 home runs. He played for the Angels, Toronto, Miami, Arizona, and Texas.
He's so bad. He's so bad. He's so bad. But I don't
Never
know.
had more than
How much money has he made?
He had 283 at bats once. Otherwise, never above 250. Interesting. Where do you find career earnings? Sir, you have one of your little favorite GM sites, right?
I think it's on Baseball Reference usually. Jeff Bezos. It's got to be like way more money than we would expect, right?
It is 19 million.
Yeah.
He's making $3 million this year.
Incredible. Incredible. That is so much money for him for being bad forever. I mean, oh God. Oh, here, all right. Here's a fun one for you. I hope you're not looking at it yet.
Oh no, I'm uploading my. I want to give everybody where my percentages ended up with my players. So I'm on Fantasy Cruncher right now.
All right, you ready? Oh my God, I can't deal with it anymore. Today's the last day. I will never address another thing that Sean V says. I hope that everybody stops paying attention to him in chat. I am making this worse on everyone by giving him a platform. So, done. You're muted in my brain now. How many wins above replacement do you think Jeff Mathis has for his career?
3.
The answer, per Baseball Reference, in 15
negative.
years is 0.1.
So he is perfectly average.
He is perfectly replacement level.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, replacement level.
He is
way
negative 9.6 wins above average.
All right, here's my pitching.
Okay.
Snell, 67. Scherzer, 38. Cole, 35. Richards, 15. Keller, 14. Sanchez, 10. Arrieta, 10. And then just all the craptastic guys like Chavez, Davies, Noah, Gabriel Inoa, Thorpe, Zimmerman, the Beebs, Giolito. I have 2 Giolito lineups and 1 John Lester. So there you go. You did not hear Anthony Desclafani.
Asdrubal Cabrera scratched.
Interesting.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but it just came out and it's 106. So
yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, they play right away, don't they?
They play at 110. So not cool, guys. Not cool. I have 1% on DraftKings. I have 0 on FanDuel. So we will sign off once we're done here.
Shit, I've got them on a few.
Yeah, if you have Asdrubal Cabrera in right now.
Oh, good God, I have a lot of teams.
Please go out of your way to get him out in the next 4 minutes. I'm scrambling quick, so I'm trying not. I don't have much to say right now, but you just want to get him out. All right, I need a third baseman.
Oh God, there's really no good ones. Well, please, Vlad Guerrero, please. Yes. No, that did not work.
Yes. No. 3,600 or less.
I think I missed that one by seconds.
All right. Kyle Seager, come on down, I guess. All right. I only had him in one lineup, so it didn't really matter all that much.
Yeah, why not? God, Seager against Cole.
Hope you guys got him out of there, guys. I don't know why I said guys there twice.
Is Young Ho Gung playing?
I do not know.
I don't think he is. Whatevs. There we go. Kyle Seager. Just because we can. All right. Thank you. That was educational.
Adam's doing some weird stuff today. I need to go yell at him.
Schwarber is 32 for me. Bryant 20. Jake Bowers 18. Humberto Arteaga 22. Apparently he must be cheap.
He is. He was a very, very recommended cash play for me today.
Jose Ramirez, Chris Bryant, and Eugenio Suarez are my top four, all at 20, and Ramirez at 30. I got Bregman. He's multi-position eligible, but I got Bregman at 15. I would have liked more Bregman. But what are you going to do when you get those pitchers out there?
It's very true. Tom. Oh, this is a good point from Tom. Sub in someone from the late games, and you can figure out the best play later. For Cabrera, I think that is very good advice. And the tricky part is that, and I don't that should be the first move that you make 9 times out of 10. In this particular case, with 4 games locking at 110 as well, trying to get that in before 110 could be beneficial. But yeah, normally your best bet is to buy yourself enough time to full swap him into anybody in a later game first, and then go try to figure it out. That'll give you a little bit more leeway. EMAC, that's it, I think. I'm going to go cheer for Garrett Cole pretty aggressively on FanDuel and for Max Scherzer on DraftKings. If I said Max Scherzer scored 25 DK points today, would you think that is a good game, a bad game, or a neutral game?
I'm going to say neutral. I think he needs to get to 28 to 30 DK points for it to be considered good.
The boss man had him at 26 today. I actually had him at 30.3. 11.1 strikeouts for the matchup is the highest number I've had all season.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And revenge. You factor that in. You started him off with 3 points already, right?
Exactly. That's how you do it, right? All right, everybody. That is it. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Let me answer this question from Jim Tomei 600. Who's my favorite stack and what percentage did I play Biebs? I have 5% Bieber on DraftKings. I have 0% Bieber on FanDuel. And my top owned stack for today is either the Indians or the Cubs, which is chalk. Yes, my top 2 owned stacks are the chalk along with the expensive pitchers. You can do both. Spoiler alert. It's the 3rd time I've done spoiler alert today. I need to bury that one from my vernacular. All right, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Live Before Lock's the promo code, 50% off your first month with us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. EMAC, anything else?
Office hours at 3. Don't forget NASCAR starting at 3 as well. You can go to the homepage and check out Phil's article. We do have driver projections and popularity projections posted for NASCAR. They're pretty good. And the Slack chat is the best way to go for NASCAR. Now, the thing you want to remember is this is one of those funky, it's not, I don't think they call it an impound race, but they're doing tech shortly after everybody qualified last night. So potentially people can fail. They will move to the back of the pack. They will be scored from the back of the pack. So it's going to turn everything on its ear. And you'll want to be around looking at that as drivers start to go through tech. And that is very, very helpful to have the Slack chat because they can explain what is happening and what is going on. And it dramatically shifts things. It's the Chicagoland Speedway, which I think they only do 1 time per year. And I don't have a good feel for the drivers there. So I'm going to be looking for people that failed tech to get more points because you can get more points from the back when you advance to the front.
There you go. That's all we
Oh,
need.
we didn't do the late slate. Sorry. People like this one. So quickly, 3-game late slate. You have Robbie Ray and Bumgarner squaring off. I lean towards Ray in this one. Bumgarner is cheaper on most of the sites, but the one issue is Arizona's actually pretty decent against lefties with Escobar, Walker, Ahmed, Adam Jones. I think Chris Bassett is someone I want to target against with the Angels. The Angels are fully healthy. And of course, everybody's going to love Mike Trout today. It's a 3-game slate. Why wouldn't you? But I think Ohtani, Upton, Calhoun make it intriguing. Get the Angels in your outfield. I'm fingers crossed that we get the wild boar today. If we get the wild boar in there today, definitely make him a part of your plans. On the other side, while I do like Haney, we've seen that somewhere in between his first 3 starts and his last 3 starts is the truth when it comes to what his actual strikeout rate is going to be. But potentially no Chris Davis today, Chris with the K Davis yet again, but that will bump up Conhop, Pinder, and into the middle of the order. And they're discounted, and they do have multi-position eligibility on DK, which is helpful. So, both are outfield eligible, and then second and third base, I think, or first and outfield. You got Chapman, who's absolutely phenomenal in the matchup against Haney. And then finally, the third game is Miles Mikolas going against the Pod Squad, who have Joey Lucchesi. I like Lucchesi. It's a tougher matchup. You would think going against all these righties, but as a collective team, the St. Louis Cardinals have not done well against lefties this year. But mix and match, have a little bit of fun with this one. Harder on the 2-pitcher sites because there are only 6 pitchers total that we can pick from. So don't be afraid to take 1 or 2 pitchers or 1 or 2 hitters against your pitcher. If you're ending up with more than that, probably not a good time to play that slate.
There it is. Those are all the takes you need. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will be back again tomorrow morning. So come join us. We'll talk to you later. Bye.